What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another picks, preview, and prediction show covering Week 8 of Dana White's Contender Series Season 9. Let's jump right into it. Starting with the first fight here, ladies and gentlemen, Rashid Vagabov against Paulo de Silva. Now, there is tape on Paulo de Silva. He last fought in LFA in a very close split decision. And there's like a few full fights on YouTube as well, but there wasn't that much more than that. And the fights that I could find were against lower level competition. So I will show you guys some of his tape here after every single breakdown. We will go over some of the tape. It is a little bit longer. This first matchup is a little bit longer than the rest because I just leaned on a lot of like the 2-3 fights that I was able to find versus just like a bunch of highlights in which I feature in Vagabov. So just keep that in mind. Paulo de Silva, there wasn't a lot, but I think we can draw from what we have seen. He is the big underdog on this card, 11-1 as a pro, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Best competition was against his last opponent, Hugo Paiva, and it was a very, very close split decision. 0 KO TKOs, 9 submissions, 2 decisions. Now, I'm going to say this. Upon watching his film, especially against Paiva, this surprised me, okay? Because he seemed to be the better striker. Even though Paiva dropped him, like just overall, when it was on the feet, that's when he was actually getting the better of Paiva, in my opinion. Paiva stuffed a bunch of his takedowns, and Paiva actually controlled top position for a good chunk of that fight. He did end up coming away with the split decision, probably just because the damage came on the feet. But anyways, this will be an absolute test for him, a huge test for him, and I don't think he's faced anybody with as good a grappling as Vagabov. He was the Koryumba Fight Combat champion. He defended that belt once. He also fought a regional. This is what I said. Like, these titles don't even matter because the 1-0 guy, 2-2, 1-1, literally had fought nobody, man. Guys making their debut. He got knocked out in his first fight against an 8-3 guy who was clearly the best opponent he had faced since. And then it was Hugo Paiva, which he just got out of that one with a split decision. Shooter box guy, I guess, slick jiu-jitsu. For me, it was his jiu-jitsu looked good against lesser competition. I wasn't really like super impressed with it. What impressed me the most was honestly his striking against Paiva. Not polished, but he's aggressive. He's aggressive, and he put together pretty good combos. Rashid Vagabov, some decent kicks on the outside. His striking is fine, but like, man, is he a crazy grappler. Out of Dagestan, minus 700 favorite, great takedowns, very, very good grappling in the sense that he doesn't just get the double leg, pull you off the cage, and just do work in the guard or work to mount to get the ground and pound. He will fight submissions, and he's pretty slick. So like, he doesn't just go for the back take. He doesn't just go for the arm triangle choke. Like, he'll try to go for some pretty nasty submissions. So 13-2 as a pro, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Not just like a pure ACA guy. He actually went the UAE Warriors route and guerrilla fighting, which, hey, respect. I like UAE Warriors. He was in Eagle FC when Eagle FC was going down, which, like, there were some good fights in Eagle FC, but overall, we know it wasn't. It was like the FAC of Russia, right? Lost to Mansour, who, again, pretty damn good, 13-1 as a pro, so no shame in that. Before then, lost to a 10-0 guy. So he's only lost to the elite, and he's looked damn good in UAE Wars against pure strikers, pure grapplers, and other, honestly, well-rounded guys. So I'm going with Vagabov. Long-winded way of saying I'm going with Vagabov. Did I miss anything here in my notes? Attack submissions all the time. More than that. More than just a lay and pray guy. More than just ground and pound. Strong, good takedowns. Good everywhere on the ground. De Silva dropped in his last fight despite edging out the split decision. And being the better striker in that fight, I don't think there was a dispute despite him getting cracked at one point. Again, I was surprised with how many submissions he had upon, just because I watched the LFA fight. Then I was like looking on YouTube and, you know, the internet, Reddit for and Instagram for other fights. And I looked at it, but before I watched some of the other ones, I looked at his record here and resume, and I was like, oh my God, 9 submissions. And then you see it, right? Submitting a bunch of cans. And I was like, oh my God, interesting. So I'm actually glad I watched that LFA fight first. So I didn't like, I don't know, didn't skew my thoughts at any point. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say. Vagabov better everywhere, face better competition. You can see it for yourself. I'll get to the comments here while the highlights are playing, guys. Don't want to ignore you. All right, there you go. There you go. I don't know as clearly enough to be on your podcast, my friend, but love to talk some Muay Thai with you sometime. Good to see you, RA. Hey, what's up, MMA Events Blogs? Good to see you. Going for 5 TKO finishes. Let's go. Yo, what's up, Simple Call? Yes, sir. Round time, literally putting in my parlays. Nice, nice. Synergy for the win. Good to see you, Baby Sharp. I haven't got to look into Costa fight yet. Yo, everyone. Yes, our boy Kubanza on the card. He's going up against another guy that I like watching as well. No shame in that, indeed. Dropped a couple times in that fight. There was one, I mean, I think he got rocked a couple times. There was one like clear drop where I was like, oh fuck. But you're right, he did get cracked a few times, but the striking exchanges, again, overall, like I liked his stand-up in that particular fight against Paiva. In my opinion, and that's just what was so funny about that fight. Despite being like dropped and cracked, overall, that's where he was gonna win the fight. He wasn't gonna win the fight on the ground. Hell yeah. And to our friend, I forget your username off the top of my head, someone commented and said, well, can you just show more than just highlights and whatnot? Like, I try to show as much as I can, but like, especially with the leagues that matter, like LFA, Cage Fear, I just can't, man. Like, I can't show more of that fight because it took me 13 times to upload this. 13 times to upload this. And it was Cage Fear FC and LFA. So like, that's why the Cage Fear FC and LFA were arguably 2 very important, not even just highlights, but footage to show. Like, I just can't show them. So maybe on like another channel that I don't care gets nuked, I can try that, like on the second channel. Or just stick to like the older tape, but then it's like, no, these are from leagues from when they were early. So I'm going to continue to do my best, man. I understand the value in that, but at that point, like, I hate to be a dick about it, but watch the fight. Watch the fights. Have I signed up for a media page at UFC? It's not even worth me signing up, dude. I am but a speck of dust on YouTube, let alone MMA YouTube. I can't even get credentials to go to LFA, so there's not even a point to that at all. I love how he dropped for the friggin' submission there. The guy was pressuring him and he dropped for the submission. There shouldn't have rules to be able to share highlights technically, like a finishing sequence longer than 7 seconds, weird rules. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that too. Some just let it slide because they're like, oh, you actually care about the sport and the regionals. Like BFL encourages me to use as much as I want to pump up their league, where LFA blocks me on social media because I sell Fight Pass subscriptions for them. This might be one of Dana's best Contender Series season. It's not even over yet. It's been pretty damn good. Definitely better than the last couple. They'll approve you. They will not approve me, man. Like, it's not even worth trying. Open to everyone's highlights and some nice background info. I got approved, not for that event. Yeah, well, you're a real combat sports and MMA channel. I am not. And I don't do enough UFC content, so it doesn't matter. Nor do I really want to, so. No interest, and it doesn't matter even if I was able to. Or even if I was, I wouldn't be able to. Cheers. I mean, it's true. Like, dude. I'm not pretending to be something I'm not here. I'm just one of the boys watching combat sports with you guys. And in my spare time, this is... I nerd out. That's all. None of my friends are into mixed martial arts out here. Except for the actual mixed martial artists. They're all into hockey, so I need some people to talk to about it, right? or share my thoughts with. So again, this is these two guys' highlights here in this first one. This is the longest portion of the highlights package. It'll be smooth sailings past here, and I will be adding timestamps to all this too, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I cut these ones just a little bit. Sure, I actually think we're almost done. Yeah, we're almost done. Yeah, Paiva's is almost like 4 minutes, so or sorry, not Paiva, De Silva. So we'll see. Demo MMA Nerd Show Kubanza or dislike and report. Yeah, we're going to talk about Kubanza. We're going to talk about Kubanza. I'm excited. He's one of my favorite prospects. And going up against another absolute killer as well. Oh, yeah. One small little edit in there. All right, yeah. So this was a fucking bitch to be able to show you guys any of this LFA shit. But anyways. So you can see, okay, yeah, there's some grappling there. There's some grappling there. But overall, I think Paiva was winning more of the grappling exchanges. As you'll see with the striking coming up here, I actually liked his striking more. Polished? No. Aggressive? Got his timing down in this one? Absolutely. Both of them scream, which is good. I honestly, if I had more time, I'd do more edits, but story of my life. Some exchanges in the clinch here. But anyways, you can just see, in this fight in particular, despite him getting cracked a few times, I did like his striking exchanges. This was lower level stuff. Which I watched this whole fight, and it's like, yeah, he won the fight. But there are points where he wasn't as commanding of the cage that maybe he should have been against guys of this level. Do you think all the fights finish inside the distance? Lovely work, by the way. I have no idea. I'm not I am not a fortune teller, and this is MMA. There's no way to predict something like that. So I have no idea, buddy. I'm the wrong person to ask. MMA experts, Pick'em MMA, Combat Casual, R10 MMA. Those are the guys to ask, my man. Hey, good to see you, Felipe. Good to see you. Is that Lamy Yamal? Who? Luis Eduardo. Oh, you're talking about the guy's profile picture? Is there? I think, okay, there's a little bit more. Anyways, I put a lot from this fight. There's not much more than that. If you guys want to check out the entire picks and I just want to move on here because I know these ones are long. Yes, shout out to Kirill Kaprizov. If you want to watch the whole thing, there it is in the chat. The rest of them are a little bit shorter, but let's move on to the next fight here. I mean, for the fight with the biggest favorite, we're going on the longest, but hey, all good, all good. I just I'm on my coffee break. I got about 2 hours left to work, but I'm on my coffee break right now. Talk some MMA with you guys. All right, next fight here. We got Kurtis Campbell against Demba Seck, ladies and gentlemen. And Kurtis Campbell has been so hyped. Like, even MMA On Point made a whole, like, 30-minute documentary on him. So, like, this guy's got a lot of hype coming in. The Pink Panther. Very good jiu-jitsu guy whose striking is starting to come into its own. Yes, wrong black guy, but Kubanza's coming. 5-0 as a pro. He's still really young, only 23 years of age. 4 KO TKOs, 1 submission, 2 decisions. 7-0 in FCC, where the MMA On Point guys actually do commentary, so no bias whatsoever. He has defended the title twice, and he has been facing really good competition. There's a lot of good fighters to have come out of this league. Tom Aspinall came out of that league. Paul Craig came out of that league. There's some guys who don't even go to Cage Warriors after and who just come to the UFC out of this league as well. Beat a 7-2 guy, 7-3, 5-0, 5-0. So he took big steps up in competition early in his career and went 8-1 as an amateur. Striking, I'll say he still has a little bit to polish up in regards to his defense. Does leave his chin out there. Like, he's by no means like a polished boxer, but throws enough heat, scrappy enough where, like, I don't know, regional scene, regional champ, like, he's fine. But this Dana White Contender Series, it's a step up in competition against a guy who is more of a striker than a grappler. I wouldn't say this is a pure striker versus grapplers matchup, but it is a prospect fight where one guy's base is jiu-jitsu and grappling and one guy's base is, well, striking. And don't get me wrong, Seck has absolutely ransacked some motherfuckers on the regional scene, but those motherfuckers that he be ransacking weren't necessarily the best guys, nor the most well-rounded guys, nor guys who have a lick of wrestling. 10-2 as a pro, 4 KO TKOs, 4 submissions, 2 decisions, 5-0 in Warrior Sports Championship. Yeah, he's the OG fighting nerd, AAT. Being 8-5 guy, 2-2, 4-2, 5-3. So not as bad as like freaking Da Silva's tomato can record. But if you go and watch some of these fights, the guys that he's controlled, no defense at all and very, very green in their own right. Do I think that there's potential here? Absolutely. Very skilled, very strong. And I think, honestly, training at a better gym or here in North America or doing some PI stuff, whether he gets into the UFC or not, if he's a serious prospect that they are targeting, maybe, you know, what I'm saying is I don't think win or lose, or win, I don't think he's going to skyrocket anytime soon. Lose, maybe he has a couple more fights to marinate in better leagues once he has the attention and maybe some gyms out here or just better leagues globally. And he still has potential for a little while. But I do think Kurtis Campbell is going to take this one, ladies and gentlemen. What do I got? Aggressive on the feet to get the takedown or clinch where he maybe could get caught in. Okay striking, but he leaves his chin out. Defense not the best. Solid single legs, but his trips and body lock takedowns are his best work. In the clinch, he's not too bad. It's going to be interesting to see, actually, if they go into the clinch, because Seck's really fucking good in the clinch, too. He's nasty, throws a lot of heat there, and can control guys. So it'll be interesting, because Kurtis Campbell does like to throw some elbows in the clinch, does like to throw heat when he separates from the clinch to, I don't know, go back for a single leg, or sometimes he's just the more aggressor, going down to the body lock and then applying the trips there. So single legs and body lock takedowns and clinch work for Kurtis Campbell. It'll be interesting to see if his wrestling has developed and he can add some more ways to the ground, some more just pure wrestling to his arsenal. But once he's on the ground, he's super slick. Yeah, Demba has not faced the same level of competition that Campbell has had. I don't think he's faced anyone as good as Campbell. His grappling and takedown, his offensive grappling and his takedown defense overall just has not been tested. So, like, I don't know how good or not good it is, but, like, I'm going to err on not at the same level as some of the guys that Campbell has been able to dominate. Dangerous striker, though, so not the worst underdog, because he could catch Campbell. Let's take a look at some of these guys' highlights here, and we'll get back to the chat. I think we finally found the formula. Ladies and gentlemen. Sky Campbell, huge favorite too. Man, they don't do too many events FCC, right? Only a couple a year. Pink Pants just distress me a bit, but Demba doesn't look clean at nothing. It's 31. Yeah, 31 as well, but 31's the new 28 in this day and age. Decently well-rounded for Campbell. Yo, what's up, Void, mate? For 31, he hasn't taken much damage, AT. But yes, won't have a long career if he does make it. But as you can see, here's some of Campbell's work. I think that's everything. Not the worst underdog, but I do have Campbell winning this one. And I think Campbell made, I want to say some of Campbell's amateur highlights made one of our membership stream highlight shows like 3 years ago. Yo, what's up, Vincent? What's up, Josh? All right, here's Demba. Like, Demba, he's fun to watch, man. And you can see skill is there. Skill is there. Just fun, yeah. What's up, Vincent? I think Demba is the best dog on the card. Yeah, vote in the poll question, guys. Vote in the poll question. I mean, this is what I'll say. Out of the two big underdogs, he's definitely the better of the two. But like Costa's like plus 105 and might even be the favorite come when they walk out. So I don't know if I go the best underdog, but as far as like the most valuable underdog, I could say yes. I have him submission in the second round. All right, let's get to the next one here. Let's get to the next one. Dude, it sucks that my boy freaking Alvidrez is fighting my other boy Kubanza, who's well, a lot more dangerous. Just don't forget the newborn's name. He's damn good, ladies and gentlemen. He's damn good. 6-1-0 for Alvidrez. 5-0 in his last 5 fights, 28 years of age, out of California. He is a plus 225 underdog out of the goat shed. 4 KOTKOs, 1 submission, 1 decision, 2-1 in Combate Global. And honestly, I know Sato's on the end of his career, but a solid vet who is still dangerous, and he was able to beat him up in his last fight. Karate background with really good boxing, and whose honestly grappling game is not that bad. It has been tested, mind you, when he was coming up, but tested against guys who were really good wrestlers and good grapplers in their own right. How much is developed to take on someone as good as Kubanza? Like we shall see. I'm going to say this right now. Do I think he's ready for the UFC right now? No. Do I think he has potential to be a UFC fighter? 100%. So Kubanza, I think, is ready right now. So like, there you go. So spoiled it. Picked Kubanza to win. But like William Rentz, good fucking win in Cage Fear UFC. Fun karate combat, whatever. Karate's his base. 16-8 Sato. I know, again, end of his career, like I said, but that was a pretty good fight as well. And in the amateurs, did pretty good, taking on a guy with a lot of experience in his last amateur fight, and he knocked him the fuck out. He's just a very dangerous striker who can pick you apart on the outside, who can switch stances, who can go from like wide stance, karate, crazy kicks, and distance management to like right in the pocket or pinning you up against the cage and just beating the shit out of you, going, combos, body shots, mixing in some elbows. So he is just very fun to watch. Very fun to watch. But Kubanza's got the death touch, man. And I would say more experience, amateur and as a pro, and fought better competition. And if he needs to, he can actually probably be the better grappler, because though grappling's not his bread and butter, he is stronger. I truly believe he's the stronger of the two fighters. And I've seen him grapple guys before, especially at the amateur ranks when he wasn't as confident in his striking. He's the minus 275 favorite in this one, 7-0 as a pro, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He's been ripping up Brave, 6 KO TKOs, 1 decision, 4-0 in Brave, and he's been beating really good competition. Gadarov, this fucking 6-1 guy, 3-0. I've watched every single one of his Brave fights, man. They were all, well, I mean, all but the last one, which, hey, we all thought he was going to like take out Gadarov. Gadarov actually gave him a really good test. He decisively won the decision, but I liked how he right before Contender Series was able to get, I shouldn't say right before Contender Series, but before Contender Series was able to get just an opportunity to level up a little bit. Was supposed to fight Jack Grant, but hey, here we are, Dana White Contender Series. Yeah, as an amateur, went 8-3 and fought some really good competition down there as well. I'm going with Kubanza just because even if the strike, I would say Alvidrez is the more polished striker, more skillful striker. Kubanza is just a step under him, but has the death touch, so I'm going with death touch advantage. And if Alvidrez gets cracked with a few shots and is forced to like grapple, I do think Kubanza is probably going to reverse him and maybe get the better in those exchanges as well. So I do think Alvidrez will be in the UFC someday. But I think Kubanza is more ready now. This one could be a fucking war though, man. And Alvidrez could just toughen out a victory here, whereas like at the end of the second round or halfway through the second round, Kubanza goes, fuck, dude, how am I going to beat this guy, right? I still think Alvidrez got another year or two of development. I think Kubanza, let's fucking go, baby. Let's fucking go. So going with Kubanza on this one. I think also cardio-wise, like how good is Alvidrez cardio? We've only seen him go to a decision a few times. Once was in a loss karate combat. The rest have been first round finishes. Whereas Kubanza, despite taking out guys early, like we literally saw in his last fight, right? Like he can be a little bit more cool, collected, and adjust as the fight goes and based on how the fight goes as well. Anyways, let's take a look here at some of these guys' footage and I'll get back to the comments. Chris Alvidrez is definitely ready for the UFC, says Andrew. Fuck no, do your homework. I did my homework. Hey, I like Alvidrez. I think Andrew's coming in hot here because he thinks I'm poo-pooing Alvidrez. Dude, Alvidrez is one of my favorite prospects out there right now. I was so stoked that he's on Contender Series. I think he 100% has a chance to win this fight. I think he's a good underdog, which I'll get into the underdogs later here as well. And I think anybody else he draws, for the most part, I'm pretty confident in him winning. Kubanza, a little bit more well-rounded and has proved it against bigger competition. My homework proved that, my man. My homework proved that. But I like your boy. Don't worry. I like your boy. No one's being disrespectful here. Bro, I've cornered against Kubanza. He's a fucking monster, and he's training out of Soma. You can't fuck with that gym. Their level's above most gym. Kubanza's so well-rounded, I think he could even get a sub. I don't know if he gets the sub, but I think he could out-grapple him. Great power, but man looks like he's punching in the deep end of the pool. Noted. You can see when Kubanza hit the opponent, he feels it. Yeah. And again, for the record, love Alvidrez. Hope he proves me wrong. I don't think this is now or never. I think even if he loses, he's going to have to polish up a little bit more of his ground game because he's only been able to employ it against guys who have little to no business being in there. So, like, for like a developmental point of view from a fan, like would I have wanted to see someone, I guess, not as dangerous but still strong, where he could challenge his grappling 100%. But maybe maybe his grappling will have to be challenged in this one. Given Kubanza is dangerous on the feet too. Anyways, fun matchup regardless. I guess tugs on the heartstrings a little bit if you're a fan of both of these prospects, because it's like, ooh, you know, one's got to lose. Shout out to the Kill Cliff crew, by the way. They like brought a film crew in to film this last fight, which was pretty cool. I mean, it's a little shaky, don't get me wrong, but it adds to the effect of it. Yo, what's up? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. God bless you too. Gonna be a sick fight either way, 100%. Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, that's all we care about, right? I'm glad I was able to find some footage on Alvidrez, though. More than just the Combate Global fights. which this was arguably his best performance yet. So I'm glad we got to see most of it here. And you can see his boxing on display here as well. It'll be interesting, though, if this fight does go into the third round. I'm really interested to see Kubanza, or both of their cardio. He isn't very defensive. He hasn't had to be yet. That's one of the reasons, too. Got a little superior rule set action, too. That's how you know he's my guy. That's how you know he's my guy. All right, here's Kubanza. Yeah, and there's some amateur fights mixed into this one as well. Oh, man. Dangerous, man. Dangerous. Yeah, very good explosive striking. I even have my notes. Both almost ready for the UFC. Love both. Just slight edge to Kubanza. Buddy thought I was poo-pooing his guy, man. We ain't no Hank the Tank here. We give a fuck if the decision's rigged. Yeah, watch his last fight too. I highly recommend it. Kubanza's last fight. Because he showed more than just this. He showed he can make pretty good adjustments. Dig deep in the third round. Oh my god. That was, yeah, that one's one of my favorites. Little step back left. Shout out to again MMA Falcons, Seck, Caposa. Honestly, didn't have to lean on you guys that much this week because fuck, there's a lot of footage. No, we didn't have to dig for footage on Instagram this week, thank God, because that's always a fucking bitch, but did have to like go through a lot of fights. But we found him. We found him. And no complaints. I love doing this shit, guys. It's just time and sleep. Time and sleep. Someday maybe we'll do this full time and I can just go over prospect highlights for a living. That would be sick. That would be sick. His Kubanza's is pretty long too, but there was a lot. There was a lot. I remember the MMA Guru on his second channel before YouTube and the UFC nuked it. He would do like breakdowns of fights, and I love that shit. That's how I actually found his channel. That was my favorite type of content that he did. And obviously, he's too busy to focus. Too busy, and the regionals don't make you money, right? So he's got to focus on the big leagues. All right, let's get to this next one, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Finally, the Mad Prince, Jourdain. We haven't seen him in a while because his last MMA fight was canceled. The brother, Charles Jourdain, up against Magno Diaz, the violence, man. Magno Diaz, 6-1 as a pro, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, 3-fight win streak. Out of the Fighting Nerds, SFT, so good gym, good fucking league. 2 KOTGs, 4 submissions, 0 decisions. That's what we like to see. And he's faced pretty good competition, especially in his last 2 fights. Carvalho's good, and Alessandro's really good as well, and he's able to finish both of those guys. Lost to Jefferson Rodriguez, got a little too overzealous there and got caught, but hopefully he can just chill a little bit. I do know these Fighting Nerds Brazilians, other than like Bohaio, sometimes get a little too crazy for their own good. He fights similarly. Like, he's just a savage. He's just a savage. Attacks a lot of submissions, but has been falling in love with his hands lately. He's nasty on the ground. Like, his submission or his defensive striking is nothing great, but like, I'm not going to say he's a bad striker by any means. He's pretty well-rounded, but he's just he's more dangerous on the ground. Opposite goes for Jourdain. Jourdain is not like his brother, does not have the same grappling prowess as his brother. I wouldn't say he's a bad grappler and a pure striker, Just like I wouldn't say Diaz is a pure grappler and doesn't have striking at all, but he's very much more a striker. Good kicks, but honestly, way better boxing. So much so that he actually took a break from mixed martial arts to pursue a pro boxing career recently, and he's still under 30 years of age. 4-1 in his last 5 fights on a 3-fight win streak, but has not fought MMA in a little while. 4 KO TKOs, 1 submission, 2 decisions, 3-2 in TKO. Okay, he did fight in May. Sorry, my bad. He did fight in May. This is right. Yeah, he was supposed to fight Tony Laramie, which, you know what? That's okay. That's okay, because Tony Laramie was able to go and have a sick fight in Ryzen, and now is part of the Ryzen roster as a result. So yeah, this fight was canceled. I think Jourdain was injured in that one. Yeah, fought some pro boxing, won some, lost some, and then came back. Yeah, right. You're supposed to fight in January. Came back in May and got a sick KO against a pretty good opponent as well. Dangerous opponent as well. Someone who is very good at grappling. I'll say this. Danilo didn't attack. He let the fight come to him a little bit more, like overall, than that of Diaz, but he did just beat a really good grappler by employing his good takedown defense, his submission defense, and forcing fights onto the feet in the pocket where he thrives. This one for me was the toughest fight on the card to pick. I went back and forth so many times, ladies and gentlemen. I went back and forth so many times that I think this one really could go either way. This should be a fun one that probably ends I feel like this ends quick for either of them. Like, sure, any fight can go to a decision, but like, I think Diaz is crazy enough to be able to just like bulldoze his way into the pocket to find the takedown or grab the ankle or something. Like, I feel like he can get a decision being a madman, living up to the violent nickname of just like crashing in, getting the takedown, and just going for it early. Or like every little mistake that Jourdain makes in the clinch, like gets him to the ground, pays for it, because he does love spamming takedowns or spamming hooks on the entry. I think if Jourdain like stays composed, he could probably find a counter, or if he stuffs the takedowns enough, or because he's pretty big for the division, keeps the fights in the clinch standing. If it stays on the feet, Jourdain is going to win. I don't think Diaz is going to knock him out. If anything, I think Jourdain would probably finish Diaz. But I'm swinging on the underdog on this one. I'm going with the violence in this one. And again, I said everything. Jourdain, way better striker, kickboxing and boxing. Love to see him throw combos. I mean, not Joshua Van, but like Joshua Van-esque in his boxing. Does go to the body a lot, which could slow down Diaz, but not the grappler his brother is at all. I think once it goes to the ground, that's where he'll be able to, and probably just like pounce. Aggressive grappler, striking's getting better for Diaz. Dangerous on the ground, sloppy striker, but very violent and explosive style. Jourdain, I would say, has the better cardio, and especially, like I said, if he goes for the body shots. But overall, tough fight to pick, man. Tough fight to pick. High-level fight. Probably a decision, because they're both that good. But I see, like, if Diaz gets the win, I think it's submission. If Jourdain gets the win, I think it's a knockout. Yo, I'll read the rest of the comments here in a sec. But thank you, Vulcan. Thank you for the 2 freaking euros, man. I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing great. How are you, brother? Thank you so much. We're having a coffee break right now. I got, 15 or 20 minutes left on my coffee break here before I'm going to get back to work. And I figured I missed this early in the morning because the Kirill Kaprizov contract extension here in Minnesota. So I was like, yo, I'll squeeze this in. And here we are. Thank you so much for the $2, buddy. Vulcan, so some of your pick, you seem ready, bro. Do my dive now. Oh, Vulcan's always ready. Jourdain Jr. has size, though. Yep. Tall, and he uses that lankiness in his leg kicks. And he's good side kicks, too. Diaz sub is definitely a hedge worth thinking about. I was ready to pick Jourdain. I don't even care if I watch footage on Diaz. It's not gonna sway me. Then I watched Diaz's footage and I was like, fuck, he's also really good. God damn it. Kubanza, you missed it. I do love Jourdain's style, though, and it'd be awesome to have both these guys in the UFC, both on a Canadian card. Oh, my God. Because Charles Jourdain is good, man. He's never going to be champion. I don't think he's ever going to reach the ceiling that he had. But his floor is still pretty high. And what? Only Jean Silva has been able to TKO him? That's not bad, dude. Guys, I'm torn. Underdog. Can you only pick either sub or KO? What do you guys think about Vagabov? I think Vagabov wins via decision. Okay, cool. Or submission. Decision or submission, but probably submission. Good to hear that, bro. I'm doing good too, thanks. I got Diaz sub here. Good analysis. Close fight. Put it this way. I want Jourdain to win. Oh, Canada, baby, tabarnak de calice. Vas-y, tabarnak, Jourdain. But Diaz's aggression with his takedowns and just explosiveness overall, it might be, I don't want to say too much for Jourdain, but he's not faced that type of pressure in a while. Let's go, Jourdain. What's up, Brandor? Getting sub plus 1800, that's crazy. Deep took balls deep seriously with the impact card, 27 fights, some deep kicking and MMA exhibition stuff. Of course, dude, I cannot wait. All right, here's Diaz, by the way. Dude, I'm so stoked. Half Dead Frank. I mean, my sleeping schedule is completely fucked. This will be the 6th or 7th straight weekend of not sleeping and watching Japanese combat sports, but that is okay. Hey, happy Tuesday, Scott. Good to see you. Excited for the fights here tonight? So you can see Diaz slower striking, but he's got striking. I don't think he's going to get himself into a firefight with Jourdain, but he'll definitely have to throw some strikes here to set up his takedowns or to set up just getting in close and stuff like this. Put it this way. If Diaz fought in deep, if Diaz had the superior rule set, man, he would be a champion over there. Just saying. How about that Ashizawa fucking fight over the weekend, by the way, guys? Oh, my God. Never a dull moment with the catfish, eh? Probably the best fight of the weekend. Hell yeah, Scott. Umeno Ashizawa. Check it out. I think Ryzen has already posted on their YouTube channel. And if not, they're going to be posting it soon. Slog of a card, that Ryzen card was. Some pretty good fights now that I reflect on it. And thank God for the last 2 fights, because my God. All right. Let's get to the next one. Victor Costa against Damian Pinas. Pinas. There were some edits I could have done. I decided not to. Brazilian Can Crusher versus Russian Can Crusher is all I see. The Russian Can Crusher. The Russian is not a Can Crusher, Void Mate. Have you watched any of his tape? Victor Costa versus Damian. 7-1 as a pro. 4-1 in his last 5 fights on a 3-fight win streak. 6 KO TKOs, 1 submission, 0 decisions. 2-1 in Chuto Brazil. Has never gone to decision. That's what we like to see. And his only loss came just a superior rule set action. Soccer kick in the face. It should have been a win. He should have been given a freaking prize, championship belt, and a bonus for that shit. So I praise him for this superior rule set action. He should have a undefeated record. His only loss was to kicking someone in the face. Fuck the unified rule set. It's a disgrace to mixed martial arts. Anyways, he's had 2 fights canceled in 2025, so he hasn't fought since 2024. Your superior rule set. And he's fought some decent opponents. Carlos Matos, Yoni Gregory, pretty good. He was on his way to beating Italo Gomez, and in my opinion, he did beat him with a nice kick to the face. Overall, hasn't been tested to the level that his opponent has, but I will say, his last 3 fights did impress me. Now, do we all know he's going to beat Silva? Yeah. So maybe I should say 2 out of his last 3 fights really impressed me, outside of the soccer kick. Everything seems to be there. His grappling seems to be decent. His takedown defense seems to be decent. His striking is what got him here, of course. But let's see how good of a grappler. Let's see how good his takedown defense is. Shit, let's see how good his striking is against another step up in competition. I mean, that's what Dana White Contender Series is for, right? The top prospects go up against each other. The top guys in their respective leagues go up against each other. And Victor Costa, I wouldn't say he's a world beater by any means. And I think a lot of people betting right now like the striking of Damian a lot more, like his power, and trust his takedown defense more than what Costa can throw at him. But I truly think Costa is the more well-rounded fighter. 8-1 as a pro, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, 25 years of age. He hasn't faced like that great competition either, which is why I think the odds are so close, which is why I think there's question marks for both of them. I feel like he's proven to be dangerous in both categories, on the ground with his jiu-jitsu and just his strength grappling, and in his striking, to the point where, like, I don't think he's gonna, again, this is just, I'm no expert, I'm not his coach, I'm not in the room, but like, I don't think he's going to just, like, for lack of a better term, like, cower to what Damian's record says. Like, I don't think he's just going to not strike him because the guy is known to have power in his mitts, and that's like what everyone's hyping him up for. I think Costa's probably as good of a striker as him. I mean, you look at the guys he's fought: 3 KO TKOs, 3 submissions, 2 decisions, 1-0 in LFA, but mostly in jungle fight. 4-3, 15-4-1, 9-4, 4-2, 5-1. So like mixed in decent guys, just like his opponent. I think he took a step up in competition sooner. Didn't have much of an amateur career. And it's not like the guys he fought tested him too much either, but hasn't gone the distance lately. So I guess cardio and just experience going the distance. If this one's probably going to go the distance, famous last words, one of them gets knocked down 30 seconds, watch. This one's probably going to go the distance though. I imagine, just because I think they're the most equal as far as where they are in their development right now, and tools based on what I've seen. But I've seen Vitor put it all together more. And yeah, he's been finishing guys in the first round recently, but he has gone to decision. He has experience going to decision. He has experience biting down his mouthpiece in that 3rd round and really going for it. And funny enough, they were split decisions, and like I kind of like that, because even if one maybe could have gone the other way, well, there was some adversity for him. Not soccer kicking the guy in the face and then taking away a win that is rightly yours, Damian. So I am going with the underdog, the slight underdog, to pick him here in Costa. He might even be the favorite at this point. I haven't checked. I'm just going by what Tapology says. But I am going with Costa here. This one, again, could go either way. I might get schooled on this one if Damian punches him, knocks him out, elbows him, or kicks him in like the first minute of the fight. But I'll eat crow if that's the case, because I'm swinging on 2 underdogs here, although this one I don't think is that much of a swing. Damian's takedown defense, even against lesser opponents, wasn't the greatest, but he's really good at getting back up to his feet. And I do think that will apply in this one as well. I don't think that was just like he's good at getting back up to his feet against lesser guys because he's stronger than them. Against pretty big and strong guys, he's been able to get back up to his feet. Power puncher, but a lot of his KOs have come after an attack or in response to wrestling pressure in the clinch, pressure for his opponents. Again, something I really like, but something I don't think Costa's going to do. Overall's fought decent competitions. Cardio, though, he's never seen the 3rd round in his career. I think Costa's more well-rounded. Despite him being more well-rounded, he is mostly a striker as well. So I just don't think he's going to fight Damian like some of Damian's recent opponents have. His grappling is there. His submission game is strong. He is strong, and I think he's really good at controlling guys in the clinch as well, whether he wants to take them down or just throw elbows or shots when he's breaking out of the clinch. Really good strikers. Power, elbow, clinch work, like I said, strikes in the clinch. A lot of first-round finishes recently, but he has gone the distance a few times. So before we wrap this up and I go over just how I rank some of these underdogs here, let's get to the last few highlights, last 2 highlights here, last year guys' comments. Then we'll wrap it up before we get to the fight companion. here a little later. Just in a few hours now. All right. Superior disqualification. What a badge. Oh, the best badge. Nice, Josh. Nice. Superior rule set. I'm not sold on the subs. The opponent that he has subbed are bad, and the one that is 3-1 was super young. Tristan Vines has signed with the UFC and will fight Atiba Gotia at UFC 320. Oh, shout out to him. But yeah. Demba Seck. Yo, what's up, guys? Brazil. Pinas has better cardio, but not takedown defense. I still pick him. Costa also could just bang with him. Yeah. This fight, I don't know how this fight is going to go. And that's why I'm excited for it. It could just be a fucking banger too, right, AT? It could just be a banger. So it should be a fun night of fights. It should be a fun night of fights. I love jungle fights and I love SFT for these Brazilians to develop in. Don't get me wrong. Shoot to Brazil will always be good, but really starting to like jungle fights in SFT. The only thing I don't like about jungle fights is how their owner is basically Shotri of Brazil. Like, I can't even bring Brazilian fighters part of that promotion on because Jungle Fight owns their likeness until they sign a new contract. So fuck Jungle Fights in that sense, but you're a fun league. You're a fun league. Let's check in on the poll question, by the way, guys. We've had one person write in Brazil. One person write Brazil. Victor Costa, and that's for Paulo de Silva. Victor Costa, 35%. DS, 27%. Alvidrez, 14%. And Demba Seck, 24%. So some good underdogs on the card here today. Some fun underdogs as well. And if he gets a fucking choke against Costa here, that would be sick. But yeah, there wasn't much on him. My apologies, guys. There wasn't much on him. All right. Last but not least, we'll go over my underdog thoughts here. I'm not going to lie. I only ranked 4 underdogs. I do not think that Paulo de Silva is going to win. I truly don't. I didn't even rank him as low confidence. No confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'll eat crow if he beats Vagabov, but yeah, I don't think it's happening. If Paiva was able to out-grapple him, Vagabov is going to absolutely destroy him. So I'll say Demba Beck, low confidence, but a KO, especially him coming in at plus 350. I'm okay with that. Alvidrez, maybe decision, plus 220, low confidence, but I at least got him noted here. Diaz, decision, or maybe sub, but probably decision, plus 170. High enough confidence to pick him, but Jourdain is very good in striking, and yeah, that was, and I said it in the show as well, that was a hard one for me to decide. Swung on the underdog in that one. And then 4, I have Victor Costa, plus 105. Again, high enough confidence to pick him. Let's see how good Damian striking really is. That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to do it. Get your last comments in here as I get ready to run through some housekeeping notes. If you want to check out these highlights again, I know we skipped through some of the first ones. Check it out here. We will have our UFC Fight Companion, Dana White Contender Series Fight Companion tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern. Only a couple more weeks after this, guys. Only a couple more weeks after this. I know it's sad. We had a good run for Tuesday. We had, like 10 weeks of The Ultimate Fighter. Now we're going to have 10 weeks straight of Dana White Contender Series. Tuesdays is going to open up, so Pro Box TV, come back to either Wednesdays or Tuesdays, please. But the stream is already there. I shared it in the chat. Big shout out to everyone who joined us for our membership stream last week. We will have another membership stream this week. My voice is starting to come back. Still a little bit fucked, but coming back. Every Monday, we post Dana White Contender Series highlights. We'll start to post prospect highlights for UFC debutants as well. Now the Dana White Contender Series is wrapping up, but thank you guys so much for checking out that series. I appreciate you guys. We have a few hockey interviews that have been banked for members that I'm going to start to roll out. If you missed them, 2 months old. But Brock Faber, superstar for the Minnesota Wild, as well as some other former Gophers. We had Matters Flamines on the show last week, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute beauty. Go check it out. and lightweight champion, soon to be lightweight UFC fighter, Richie Miranda. We had him on the podcast recently as well. I'm trying to get Kwanwan Il on before his fight, week 10 of Dana White Contender Series. He's a popular fucking fighter. He finally followed me back on Instagram, so there's that. We're trying. We stream and cover 30 plus hours of combat sports every week, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing. I will add timestamps to this stream if you just joined us, so you can sift through it with ease. But consider subscribing. You guys see it. Live streams every week. Videos consist of whatever the fuck we want, but now a lot of fighter highlights, podcasts. We haven't done any beer reviews in a while because I haven't been drinking, but usually the wintertime I start drinking because I can't go outside anymore. It's too cold. So we'll bring back some beer reviews soon here, guys. But yeah, a little bit of everything. Yeah. So wintertime, dark beer reviews. It's fitting. But anyways, I got to get back to work. My coffee break is over. So I appreciate you guys. I can see 0 decisions on this card. There you go. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you all. Smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you later for the Fight Companion.
Just because you get more picks right doesn't mean you're better at predictions than me.
Yeah.